It is official. Episode 30 is going down. I got the Clash of the Podcast merch going on here. It's episode 30, like I said. This is going to be a big one. And guess what we're talking about? WrestleMania goes Hollywood. Unbelievable. I got Big Sean next to me. Hubbard Wrestling Weekly's in the house. Everything Pro Wrestling's in the house. We got a lot to talk about. We're even going to be talking about some of the events leading into WrestleMania weekend. I really don't think there's a lot of time to waste. So I think it's time for us to get into that intro. Let's get it. And we're going to talk WrestleMania. My brother Sean.
What up, though?
What's happening, bro? What's happening?
Man,
How you
I
feeling?
just can't believe time has flown by this quickly, man. WrestleMania week, it's bananas, man. I'm really excited about it. Like you said, a couple of big-time pay-per-views to lead up to WrestleMania as well. This is the most exciting, most pivotal week of the wrestling year, man, and we're here to cover it. So let's just jump in, man.
Now, more than WrestleMania has gone so far out of things that things have expanded and have changed. And you guys know we do a lot of Fight TV giveaways. So I have to give a shout out to Fight because they have an event that I'm kind of looking forward to.
That's a fact.
And that is involving Impact Wrestling. This is going to be one of their big shows. Now, this is an older card, may I remind you, before I cross over and show it. But Thursday, March 30th at, I believe, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 p.m. Pacific Time. You guys can check out this show. You are getting a cross-branded show with Impact and New Japan Pro Wrestling. I think things are going to be lovely when it comes to this. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to present here. I'm going to share my screen, and we are going to pull up the Impact card here. Just so that you guys can see. So this show is called Multiverse. You're going to get some countdown matches even to it. You got Yuya Uemura versus Gabriel Kidd. This should be a good one if you're not into the young lions in New Japan. Check out these two. I think Yuya is not even a young lion anymore. I don't know if Gabriel Kidd has advanced either, but this is going to be a good hard-hitting matchup between these two.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And also, before we get too deep into this, we want to give a big shout out and a get well soon to the Impact, well, soon to be former Impact World Champion Alexander. He has gone down with an injury. He would have been on this show. Still going to be a jam-packed show, but the Impact World Champion is out indefinitely with an injury. So this ain't ballet. So unfortunately, he's going to be out for quite some time.
Yeah, that's a fact. That torn triceps, man, it's been catching a lot of cats, actually. Yep. Truthfully, like Punk, Christian, Josh Alexander. So make sure you're taking care of yourselves out there in the ring. Always dangerous. In this one, though, we got Fred Rosser, Alex Coughlin, Sami Callihan, who I think is now just Callahan, and PCO versus Eddie Edwards, Joe Hendry, Tom Lawler, and Kratos. If you don't know Kratos, he is a big fella.
Yes, sir.
One of the matches that I think could steal the show, Bullet Club, the current Impact Tag Team Champions, Ace Steel and Chris Bay versus Aussie Open, who are also competing on Ring of Honor. They're going to be everywhere this weekend versus the Mighty Don't Kneel, TMDK, Motor City Machine Guns. They're the current New Japan Strong Tag Team Champions. I think this one's going to be a banger, low key.
Most definitely, and you know that the Motor City Machine Guns is one of my favorite tag teams of all time. So it's going to be crazy
for sure. Now, getting into the X division, they're having a scramble for the championship. Trey Miguel, Frankie Kazarian, Rich Swann. Kevin Knight is a name that I want people to remember. I know people have seen him just tagging with Kushida. I think Kevin Knight is tremendous, and he's going to be someone we'll be seeing a lot more of in the future. Clark Connors, he has stepped up anytime that they have needed someone. Clark Connors is the name, and everybody knows Rocky Romero.
That's a fact.
So Rocky will be in there doing his thing. We also will have a four-way with Masha Slamovich, Deonna Purrazzo, Giselle Shaw, and Mayu Yamashita. This is going to be a good one as well. Anytime you got Deanna in there, they're going to mix it up, and I'm glad that fans will get a chance to see Mayu in the ring. That's going to be a lot of fun.
I told you she beat Shaw at the pit at Sacrifice, brother. I told you.
Hey,
I
you
love
were
it.
right.
I love it. Yo, Perazo is that girl, man.
She's making moves. Now, Mickie James is someone who also may have suffered an injury right here. It says that it looks like I think it was a rib injury is the rumor going around right now about it. So I don't know if this is going to end up being for the championship. Maybe we'll have to do the wait and see. We're waiting to see what's going to happen with this. If you're in the Haas fight, you got Moose versus Jeff Cobb happening as well.
Yes, sir.
Hey. Someone who I think is going to steal the entire weekend and will be the MVP, Mike Bailey going up against Hiroshi Tanahashi. This was supposed to be Will Ospreay. That would have been nuts. But I think going up against a legend like Tanahashi, you can't complain, right?
That's a fact.
Kenta will be defending his strong title against Minoru Suzuki. Cool. I'm with it. Minoru is beloved, and I think that match is going to be topping the card here, Sean, for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we want to give a shout out to Fight TV once again. I think that Impact Wrestling and New Japan are truly wrapping their head around the key element of what this week is supposed to be about. Of course, you have these promotions that are not going to outright acknowledge WrestleMania just by name, but we all know that this is the biggest event of the year. And what we want to do as a wrestling community is kind of wrap ourselves around this event and get as many eyes on the product as possible. And I think that this collaboration, of course, Alexander going down, of course, Mickie James going down, Ospreay going down, that that I'm heartbroken about that. But, to have this show be able to showcase Impact and New Japan on WrestleMania week, and pretty much to open up WrestleMania week, if you really think about it, I think it's a major, major deal. I will be tuned in, and I hope you are as well.
Definitely plan on watching these shows, guys. I'm telling you, Fight's got some great packages, too, if you want to watch everything that they have showcased.
Yes,
so
sir.
make sure you check out fight.tv. I want to give a shout out to people in the chats, man. This is episode 30, and I was feeling a little in my feelings today about it. I was like, man, this is really cool, man. We've built up a great audience, and much love and respect to everybody who tunes in every week that's always here. And if it's your first time here, welcome. We appreciate you.
Most definitely.
Got to give a shout out to my man, Sir Quills, in the house.
Quills, what up? Welcome again, man.
We have Joel in the chat as well.
Appreciate you, my guy.
He said, hey guys, what's good? A lot this weekend. It's gonna be a lot. Gomar. Matt Lopez also in the house. What's good? B-Boy Skyline, what's happening? Talking about something Cody Rhodes. Positively Ease in the chat, dropping some knowledge on folks. Let's see here. Doug as well. What's good, Doug? I'm seeing a lot of the same names. I'm trying not to repeat. McKinney in the house. I knew he would show up.
McKinney, what up, Doug?
He said, yo, I'm here to talk wrestling, let you know my favorite motto in life. Don't lose your inner child or you become a bitter adult. Woo.
I like that.
McKinney always got some good phrases, man. Let's see here. Matt Lopez says Mickie has a broken rib. The winner of the four-way will face Jordan Grace at Rebellion and Mickie if cleared for the Knockouts title. Okay. Rated Tokyo in the house. He said the real WrestleMania is going to be April 8th. He is excited for that big match with Mercedes, AZM, and Hazuki. Yeah, I hear you. And D Money, what's good? I appreciate you. Guys, check it out. Like I said on Fight, we're gonna get into this WrestleMania card. Sean, what are you looking forward to right now? We're going into this, let's talk. Like, what are you into right now with WrestleMania? Like, what's got your heart as of today, this moment?
I gotta be honest. WrestleMania 39. I'm gonna break it down for you, bro. WrestleMania 39, the biggest WrestleMania ever on paper. There's only one match. I mean, I know we have the tag titles and everything. There's only one match that means something. It's the true main event. And Chad, I want you guys to lock in. It's the true main event. It's everything that we ever could possibly want in a main event in this era of WWE. You have one side a movable force. The other side, the unstoppable object, or reverse that, however the phrase was. Rest in peace, Gorilla Monsoon. I don't think anybody could ever deny the fact that the Fatal 4-Way elimination, Fatal 4-Way match is the biggest match in WrestleMania history. I'm so fired up about it. We got Braun Strowman.
This is why we need a producer. Y'all got to let us get bigger because the producer would have got the.
How can it be any bigger than Braun Strowman and Ricochet? I mean, and the Viking, for the love of God, when you talk about the Viking Raiders being on WrestleMania, I mean, you talk about Hogan and Andre, forget Hogan and Andre. Forget Austin and Rock. We have a Fatal 4-Way tag team showcase match. I am elated, bro. Elated. Aren't you? Aren't you fired up? Why does your face look like that?
How, Sway? How is this even being joked about right now in the chat?
I don't understand what's going on right now. Everybody's not fired up about.
Here's the co-main event, Lesnar and Omos. Yo,
very well done
right now.
Okay, so let's get serious. I wanted to have a little fun with you guys. Obviously, Roman and brother, I saw you. I had to get you, man. I know we didn't plan that one. I better check the house for chemical leaks. I like that, E. No, all jokes aside, I'm having fun with you guys. But I will surprise you. I'm not going to say Roman and Cody. I'm looking forward most to the Unified Tag Team Championship match. That is the match of the weekend for me, and we'll see how that plays out.
I really hope they let them go out there and show out. I'm looking forward to that match. There's one that I love, though. I love it probably for all the wrong reasons. Rey Mysterio and Dominic's a build I've really enjoyed.
And you give me a face about the Fatal 4-Way?
Oh, no. But I have a reason for this. When Rey finally stood up to Dominic on SmackDown because he got near his mother, every father-son combo has had that moment where it's like, you better not.
Right.
When they zoomed in on Rey's face, even though the camera missed it for us, but I could see it in the background. But when Rey yelled at Dominic and said, "Look what you made me do," I was like, "Bro, this sounds like an abusive dad. Why would Rey say that line?" And have you noticed they've cut that line from all the YouTube ones?
Right.
Look what you made me do. I was like, come on, fam. I really like that storyline, though, and I think it's going to be good because I think it's going somewhere further. We're going to get into some of that with some of these matches here. I love everybody's in here. I know someone didn't say Brock and Omos is about to be 5 stars. That might be shortest match of the night.
It will be. It will be, I think. I predict it will be.
E said, Hub, they booked Mania like 99 Sunday Night Heat with tears coming down his face.
Bruh. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. That's why I wanted to mess with you guys because, honestly, I was going to have fun with that. Those 2 Fatal 4-Ways make me sick. The fact that Andre the Giant Battle Royal being on SmackDown makes me sick. There's a lot. This show leaves a lot to be desired, Conrad.
It could, but you know what? Last year I thought I was going to be disappointed last year, and I was way more down last year than this year, I'll say. Rey should have took his shoe off and beat Dom with it. I did see someone Photoshop the chanclas in Rey's hand. I thought that was foul.
Crazy.
Man, so listen, WrestleMania's in the house. They're doing all of this Hollywood stuff. Snoop Dogg supposedly is going to be there, I'm guessing. I saw he had a championship belt. I know I wouldn't be paying $800 for it. No offense. But we got a lot going on here. This poster bothers me, Sean. I have to bring this up.
Okay,
look at the screen real quick. And I want you just to look at Asuka. Doesn't something seem off about Asuka, like her height?
Yeah, she seems very small in this picture, yes.
Yeah, I don't know if that's just a Photoshop error, whoever made this, but it just bugs me. So now every time you guys see it, it'll bug you too. I waited a whole lifetime to bring that up to you guys. Sunday Night Heat and Shotgun Saturday Night equals WrestleMania. Foul, bro, but you're not wrong.
Let me give you some background on the reason why I wanted to mess with you to open up this show. WrestleMania is supposed to be, every match is supposed to be what I described for that Fatal 4-Way. Everything up until what I said about that Fatal 4-Way, until you realized I was talking about the Fatal 4-Way, is what's WrestleMania is supposed to be about, bro. That's my point. And I say this in all seriousness after the joking around. when you think about WrestleManias going by, there's been some duds, but every WrestleMania is supposed to be top to bottom bangers. And for me, this WrestleMania doesn't match up. You have about 4 or 5 matches that are awesome, and that goes back to my whole argument about why WrestleMania should not be 2 nights, because then you start trying to fill in things that shouldn't be there. Just saying.
I'm team. I'll take 2 nights over a million. Like, you know what I mean? When you tried to jam pack. So me and a buddy were talking today. He was like, "Man, you guys are talking about the worst WrestleManias," and he was listening to our show. Actually, he was like, "Dude, WrestleMania 32 is up there for you, though, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've heard that in 27." And then we compared, and I was like, "Yo, 32 might be worse than 27." Looking at it,
32 was rough. 32 was rough.
Yeah, I remember that night just sitting there, and I was like, "You had a couple matches that delivered, but it's tough." And WrestleMania for the last few years, I can't think of the last year where it had it. It's missing that pageantry. It's missing that, like, I used to always be excited when WrestleMania came around because you knew it was about to get good. And lately, I felt like it's just been, okay, let's see what happens at the show.
Yeah, the storylines have not been good, and I'll tell you something. It is reprehensible, Conrad. Look at me. Reprehensible what they've done in the build-up to both women's title matches. It has been god-awful. You understand me? God-awful.
That is true. B-Boy, don't encourage Derek. That was one of the most haterish moments ever when I was recording Cody Rhodes' debut. He was angry when he heard that wrestling. As soon as he heard the doom, he was tight. He turned, the anger came out. Midian, we ain't talking about no naked Midian on here now, E. I'm looking forward to Edge versus Finn Balor because Finn Balor is my favorite wrestler. I'm looking forward to their entrances. Yes, that should be really good for Hell in a Cell. I think those will be good. I'd rather be 2 nights to sitting through 12 hours. I'm the same way, but I also hear Sean probably. Are you a believer in, like, if you don't make the card, you don't make the card? I don't want to hear it.
Right. I don't want to misrepresent it. I'm not saying that one night should mean that you bust out 13, 14 matches. I think WrestleMania should be an 8 or 9 match card, and if you're not good enough to be on Mania, you're not good enough to be on Mania.
Step it up. Or you could always have that nice battle royal for everybody.
I mean, yeah, maybe a battle royal to kind of that. Now that's supposed to be the filler for me. That's supposed to be like the goodwill, good charity, everybody gets to be on the show kind of deal. But these fatal 4-way tag match, we're gonna get into it, bro. These fatal 4 tag matches are just brutal.
Let's get into it, man. Let's open up with what we found out will be opening night 1.
Oh boy,
John Cena. It's been 19 years, they say, since he last opened to WrestleMania. It's been a minute since he last opened a WrestleMania. Been a minute. What do you know who the last person he main evented against, Sean? Opened up against.
I know because I was there. It was WrestleMania 20 against the Big Show.
Love it.
I was there. Oh God. I was there. I was there at WrestleMania 20. How old was I at that show? Oh my goodness.
We were young chaps then.
Yeah, I was like 13. That's crazy. But yeah, I saw that live, and it was an amazing night. But how the mighty have fallen, man, because this is not the same for me, bro.
Yeah. Look at E yelling it in the chat. They're yelling Big Show. They knew. Why are you yelling at me, E? Why are you caps locking my name like I'm Kenta? The John Cena effect. Going into this, John Cena basically, can we use the B word in this case? Is it fair?
Can we say what's fair?
The B word?
Yeah, that's fine.
It's an overused term, but
I agree.
Crushed Theory on the mic. There's no choice in my mind. Austin Theory has to win this. That's my prediction. He has to win this, and he has to do something with this. But according to Cena, he loses even if he wins.
I think that Cena winning was my prediction all the way up until I got the announcement that it was going to be the first match of the weekend. You know what's really sad, though? I mean, let's not assume that we're idiots. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, John Cena being on the first match means he's getting on a plane. He'll be on a plane before the third match of the night. That's what that means to me. So it's like, Yes, Austin Theory is going to win, and it takes away from the luster of the match because the announcement, which is supposed to be an exciting thing, that's going to open up the weekend. Not exciting at all. You pretty much gave it away. John Cena will not win that match because John Cena is going to be on a plane back to the movie set before we even get to match 3.
That's sad. That's sad.
Tell me if you feel me on that.
Oh, 100% I feel you on that. Cena's out. Cena's above this now. Cena is in Scorpion King mode, as I call it. He is 1 foot out the door. Maybe he's got some time on his contract, but that's him. Every time he shows up, he's like, "You got me for 2 weeks, and then I'm out, bro."
You got me for 2 weeks, and I'm out, and I'm not even sticking around for the whole weekend.
And they don't even do the excitement right. Like when Rock came back for 20, that was excitement. Like I remember that moment. I was like, "Oh yes, Rock and Sock Connection versus Evolution." Theory's got to find a way to capitalize off of this and make something happen for it. I hope he can, because I think Theory's got something to be a main eventer, but they have to build it up to it. You can't do what they were trying to do before.
Yeah, I agree, and they need to tweak him just a little bit more. He's getting there. He's starting to grow on me, and I never thought that would be the case. Obviously, it starts on Saturday against Cena, but it has to continue. And what we need to do is we need to put a situation in place where he doesn't just necessarily have to have the U.S. title. We'll talk about this later, but, I mean, that's also why it's so important to split up the world titles, because we need people to elevate, and you can't elevate when there's only one championship.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's a divided opinion on it. Austin Theory versus John Cena. As much as I want Cena to win, we all know Cena's here to put Theory over. It also makes sense for Theory to retain because Cena's not going to be around. I hear you, Quills. I mean, that's also a great way to get rid of a championship too, though, if you wanted to. I'm just saying in theory. Let's say you did want to get rid of one of the belts. Hey, no pun intended. I just realized that's a theory. If Cena wins and then you want to get rid of the U.S. title, have Cena hold it. Don't defend it for 30 days, and then you just vacate the title and you get rid of it. Boom. Cena left his stove on like Hebner after Survivor Series 97. It has to go. Come on now.
It's hilarious.
Dave, start the car. Tell it to Booker T. Oh, no, we ain't bringing up that. I don't want to even get sad. Can't deal with it. I think I'll let my esteemed colleague here take over for this next one since he's so excited about this matchup.
Okay, so here's the deal. Obviously, like I said, I started the show with a little bit of fun. This show is disappointing on so many levels. Here's the bottom line. There's only one team in this match with any kind of momentum, and that's the Street Profits. You might argue that the Otis storyline, with the Maximum Male Model girl might lead to something. She may even come out, distract them, who knows? My question is this. And I'm going to focus on the Street Profits, Conrad. If the Street Profits lose this match.
Oh, I know where you're going.
I mean, I'll just leave it right there, bro. I'll just leave it right there. You fill in the blanks. I'm just going to leave it right there.
Maybe it's time to do it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know where I'm going.
I would like it to be like a draft or something, though. I'm so tired of I got to beat you down. You let me down. You didn't make the tag, Brett. You should have tagged me, Brett. I'm just tired of it. Like, you gotta let these guys rock. When I look at this card, so I'm pulling this up just so people can see it. I see this, and I see Ricochet's on here because they see Ricochet as a good hand. I think he's more than that, but they see him as a good hand. Braun Strowman's here because they probably paid him a lot of money, but he's also being punished too, I think, for his little comments.
Don't get me started.
I also think that the Viking Raiders are here because you've been promised a lot and you've been failed to get on those promises. I feel like they were just told things and it never happened for them. Chad Gable's impressed. I think Chad Gable can go by himself. I don't know if they just think he's too small or whatever it is. And Otis with the Maximum Male Models, I think it's been funny for what Otis is. Funny is how they always book him. And the Street Profits, we know what it is, bro. Montez and Bianca, I will say this again and again and again. They will be a power couple as heels, and they will be something to reckon with, like when Triple H was with Stephanie. I don't know if it'll be on that same level for storytelling, but they will be that good. That's my prediction as to what's going to happen with it.
I predict the same. I just want them to do it the right way. And I do not want to see his partner fall by the wayside because I think Dawkins is a talented wrestler.
Right. Someone said, what's the point of this tag match? Where are you taking me? I kind of agree with Matt Lopez. He said they should be making this a number one contenders match.
Right. And they haven't even announced that yet. So that probably is not the case, which is wild to me because this is a fatal 4-way showcase match. What are we showcasing? 4 teams that have been doing nothing?
That is true. Are we making a prediction here? Do you got someone that you like in this one?
I'm going to go Street Profits in more ways than one. I'm going to say Street Profits either win or we see the breakup.
I'm going to say the Street Profits as well. I think they get the W here.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we're getting a payoff to the Otis stuff yet. And I think they don't know what they want to do as far as the draft yet.
I do think the Otis thing takes shape at WrestleMania, which is why I think that the Alpha Academy will not win. I think Otis being distracted will lead to the Alpha Academy not winning the match.
Right. I see most of the chat taking the Street Profits as well. Dawkins about to kick Montez's leg out of his leg. I hope not.
Oh man, that's funny.
I hope not. And don't sleep on Dawkins either. I think Dawkins has a tremendous heart because he's shown like he's gotten into good shape. I can do all the stuff he can do. I'm just as good. He's been around.
I don't want to see Dawkins be Marty Jannetty.
Yeah. Yeah. And to be honest, I always say this: Marty Jannetty himself, because he's actually a great wrestler.
He is.
He did all that to himself. That's called don't be a knucklehead, kids.
Never forget, WrestleMania 9 was supposed to be HBK versus Jannetty.
You know what else was supposed to be? WrestleMania
8 was supposed to. So they were supposed to go, because I've heard both. So that means they might have went, oh my God, they could have went back to back at Mania.
Imagine too, Macho Man wanted a match with Sean too. I mean, we're giving you guys a lot of the good stuff.
Oh my God.
And he had a plan too with the champagne bottle going upside his head from Sean when he went to congratulate him. And that's how they would have kicked it off. Montez and Bianca, king and queen, respectively. Montez could be king of the ring. I could see that. It sounds like a good idea, but you know what that means.
Quills, I love you for that, brother. You know what that means.
I see Alpha Academy getting split soon, not going to lie. If the winners don't get a title shot, it's just filler. Street Profits better win. Give me Strowman and Ricochet. Bold prediction. Woo.
That is a bold prediction. And you know what? I think it's a safer prediction than people think. It's bold because I think the Profits are the favorites. But I can't believe I'm saying this. Ricochet and he who will remain nameless are getting some decent pops in the arenas. That's kind of annoying me. I don't know what the fans see in these guys.
They see something. Let's get this one out.
God help me.
We got another. They got to do it for one. They got to do it for the other division. Women's tag team match. I'm sorry, but this is why those tag belts are paperweights. And I mean that respectfully. You got to have teams that are going to stick together. I like Ronda and Shayna as a team. That's not my issue at all. My issue is Natalya and Shotzi, Liv and Raquel. And haven't they all had different tag team partners that they challenge with the titles for? And they're like, yeah, this is my best friend and we're going to win the belts tonight. Stop it. Stop playing yourselves. Cut it out. Knock it off. And we don't even know who the fourth team is. My guess, I'm going with Nikki Cross and Candice LeRae. What do you think? Do you care?
I couldn't care less if I tried. You understand me? And let me go on another tirade about Raquel Rodriguez. Stop smiling. You freaking you look like, oh, well, she's not smiling per se in this picture, but my God. I mean, they've ruined her, bro. They have absolutely, she was Big Mama Cool. Big Mama Cool. And now she's a smiling moron. And you know what? As much as I like Liv, I hope they lose because they don't deserve to win. They do not deserve to win. I mean, all the other teams except Ronda and Shayna are a joke. I mean, I guess Ronda and Shayna win by default. This match is pathetic. This is WrestleMania. I can't even talk, bro.
What up, Chris? I appreciate you coming in here joining us, Chris. I'm gonna what up, XG Dub? I'm gonna go with the simple answer here. I think you give it to Shayna and Ronda. If you're gonna keep these paperweights around and you're trying to make them mean something, they're the team to give it to at this point. I know it eliminates two birds with one stone. Keeps Ronda away from the main event scene where you don't need her right now, and it ain't been working, truthfully. But it also lets it elevates Shayna. You get what I'm saying? Like you're kind of trying to satisfy as many things as you can in a not so great situation. So I say give them the belts as soon as you can, because Lita ain't hanging around too much longer. At least I don't think so.
Ronda and Shayna win. I'm
moving on.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't want to be that guy. I'm disgusted. I mean, this is pathetic, man. This is absolutely pathetic. Do you remember Survivor Series when Shotzi got the title shot against Ronda? And we were all like scratching our heads, like, what is going on here? It's like they're throwing on SmackDown, especially, but probably the whole company, but especially SmackDown. It's like they've thrown in the towel. It's like the women's division is starting to revert back to what it was before. It's really getting bad, bro.
Anthony Slate, thank you for joining us.
Anthony, welcome.
It is, man. It is. I don't know what to say. I really have no words for it.
And you know, it's very odd for you to be at a loss for words too. Everybody knows Clash of the Podcast. You all know Conrad's the one who calms me that Sean, it's not that bad. Sean, take a deep breath.
No, those two matches are bad. Those
bad. It's really bad, bro. Yes.
It was just shoving people on the card to do it, which has not been Triple H's MO, but I'm sure people were complaining like, hey, we're not on. But like you said, man, step up. Knew better, do better.
Absolutely.
We have a triple threat for the IC title. Sean, I'm about to make a bold claim. I think that this is going to be the best Intercontinental title match in years. In years at WrestleMania. Not only because it hasn't been defended, but I think that these guys are going to rip it up. I think Drew has something to prove because he feels like he should probably be in the main event and he hasn't. Gunther is a tremendous champion. I know a lot of people want to see him break that Honky Tonk Man record. And Sheamus, I'm invested in the story of Sheamus finally getting the one jewel that he's been missing. He wants that IC title so he could be a Grand Slam champion. Can he get there? We'll see. We'll see. It's an interesting story here, but is this the night where Sheamus does it? Does his friend spoil it for him, or does Gunther walk away still your Intercontinental champion?
No one's been a bigger detractor of Sheamus than me. You know that. I've always thought that Sheamus was very overrated. Sheamus has stepped his game up in a major way, bro. Sheamus, I didn't like the Brawling Brutes. I know I'm referencing Survivor Series a lot. I didn't like the Brawling Brutes at Survivor Series. But Sheamus specifically has really stepped his game up. And I would say that he'd win the first time the Intercontinental Championship, but I can't go against Gunther. I think Gunther is going to break the Honky Tonk Man's record.
Please do. Please do, for the sake of
you know that's hard for me to say because I love the Honky Tonk Man.
I do not.
I know you don't.
He is one of my least favorite. Number one, he won it in my town. Number two, Honky Tonk Man just annoyed me as a kid. Him and Jimmy Hart singing that fake song with Peggy Sue. And I'm like, dude, it's the 80s. We got MC Hammer. Why is this dude on my screen doing this? You know, you just couldn't have nothing nice. But
yeah, I think Gunther retains. I think Gunther's going to go for 14 months, and I think he should. I think Gunther's trying to become the greatest Intercontinental champion of all time. This is one of those rare matches on the show where you can't really lose. I'm still not a big believer in Drew McIntyre, but I think he's elevated himself a little bit. He's still kind of mid to me, but he's getting better. But I think the more logical choice would be Gunther retaining. So I'm going to go with Gunther.
Right. I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna say they pulled the trigger on Sheamus. I think they do it at WrestleMania. He's fought a lot. He's waited for his opportunity. I still, for the life of me, this is something that bothers me. Hold on, I'm pulling up this picture again. Why does Sheamus dress like this? He doesn't wrestle in these clothes. It makes me so mad. I just, does it bother you? Is it just a me thing? Like, I'm just talking about
It
I'll tell
bothers
you
me
something else
only
that bothers
because
me. When you wear wrist tape and then you don't wear wrist tape while you're wrestling, it bugs me.
right.
Bugs
I
me.
agree. I think it bothers me because it's not the greatest ring attire, and he, like you said, he doesn't really wear it. So why are you embarrassing yourself on the still screens with that ridiculous? I think that fight night gear is kind of corny. I don't get it.
And rumor has it too, by the way, that Pete Dunne's going to be making a return, and they're going to get rid of the Butch character,
Oh,
which
that's
I've
good.
been saying since the get go on TikTok. Follow me at EPW Show.
Yes, follow him on EPW Show.
And by the way, I put up a short of you, Sean, for that WrestleMania 9 rant last week, hitting that 1K. So if you guys get a chance to, make sure you
1K?
check that out during the
1K?
weekend. Oh, we're almost at 1K. No, 11K on TikTok.
11K.
I just put it up today, though, and it's almost at 1K.
Oh, 1,000 likes?
No, views on YouTube.
No, we're at like 11,000 likes.
Oh, my bad. Hey, listen.
Yeah,
Just
it's nuts right now. Like, everybody really enjoyed that.
watch the product. Watch the product. Let me see here with E talking about Hall & Oates. You're a rich girl. Love Hall & Oates. The triple threat match will be the best of the weekend. I'm with Doug. Triple threat, if on night one, will set the tone. This is going to be a physical match. Bang, bang. This is going to be a certified banger of a match. Drew, Sheamus, and Gunther. That's going to be crazy. Yeah, these dudes are. Someone's chest is going to be hamburger meat by the time it's done. Probably both of them, actually.
Yes.
He comes to the ring the right way. Could go either way. Gunther retains, McKinney says, but drops it at Backlash. Yeah, that was the other thing I was thinking too. Is you could have Gunther retain and then flip it later, or you could have him win King of the Ring, and then it'll mean more when Sheamus does finally take it from him.
Facts.
Definitely depending on how you want to do it. Oh man, I'm fighting with myself on what match we should do next. No, let's go in order here. How I got it. Forget it. Rey Mysterio, Papa Ray, coming to deliver that beat down to his gangster son, who spent one day in the holding center, who had to eat a McDonald's breakfast sandwich.
Wow.
As he waited for someone to come get him. Hard times, baby. Dominic Mysterio is about to be out in these streets. What you thinking, man? How you feeling on this
all
one?
I know is storyline wise, he's with Rhea Ripley, so that means he's winning in life. But on a serious
don't let Buddy Matthews hear you say that.
Yeah, I know, right? But on a serious note, we saw this match coming, but I'm torn. I know Ray's gonna put over his son, so my prediction is Dominic. But I would like to see Ray go out as a winner. I'm not really cool with this whole like last match losing kind of thing. Like the Kurt Angle, Baron Corbin thing still rubs me the wrong way. But I guess for business purposes, and especially with being family, he probably wants to put over his son. Dominic's going to win, and I think it's strictly because Ray has made the overture to Vince or whoever, the Triple H, whoever's running the show. Like, I want to pass the torch to my son, and that's how it's going to go down.
He's agreeing, Reset. He said Ray's going to win, but I'd like to see Dom win. I'm going to say Dominic is getting the win here,
Right.
But you're going to be happy later on, I think, though, Sean.
Okay. You think so?
Yes, because I think that the big play for this one is a match that they've never done before. And Conan's going to be in the house. What's a match that they like to do in Mexico all the time? AAA, Mexico.
Mask
what do you
versus
put on the line? Mask versus hair.
Versus hair, right.
Dominic's got that little Eddie Guerrero hair that he's been growing out, talking that mess. What better way than to have Rey Mysterio cut it just like he did CM Punk many years ago? Have Dominic strung up on them ropes and he's cutting all that hair off. You see it often on videos today where people are cutting people's hair. People will watch that. People will go for that. That's how I think it ends up going down. I've heard people try to say Dominic should come out with Vicky. I don't think you'll get that here if it's even possible. Maybe later on down the line. So I think it's going to go Dom. Ray wins mask versus hair, and then there's one more match, and it'll be a stipulation match going on down the line, which we'll talk about once it's time. But that's my prediction. Dom wins here, though.
Well, I predict that Dominic's going to come out to Eddie Guerrero's music.
Ooh. Dominic is winning, making the Judgment Day stronger, Gomar says. Dom comes out with the lowrider. Ooh, you think like that style of Eddie?
Yeah, I mean, I like what Tokyo's saying about the lowrider. I don't know. I mean, they may do that, but I think the best way to work this match is to have Dominic come out first. Let me paint the picture for you. Dominic's the first person in the ring. They play Eddie's music. The fans go crazy because they think it's Ray paying homage to Eddie. And then here comes Dom, and the crowds boo him out the building.
You know what's crazy too? WrestleMania 21. Who did Rey Mysterio face?
Exactly, Eddie Guerrero in Hollywood.
That makes sense. It makes sense. I like it, dude. I did not think about that. I did not correlate the two.
Yep.
Ray takes the L, but gets over afterwards by holding him down while his mom beats him with a shoe. Terrible. Terrible. Too many 90s babies up in this chat. Y'all better cut it out. I'm 100% rocking with Rey Mysterio on this one, but at the same, Ray's going to put over his son Dominic. So Dominic wins here, but Dominic may win anyway due to some heel shenanigans alone.
And look out for Damian Priest too, because Damian Priest is the only Judgment Day member without a match, and I think he'll accompany. I think he'll be a part of this this match. Well, I mean, it's a cross. Maybe he'll be a part of this, or he'll be a part of the match we're going to talk about a little later.
When did he team with Bad Bunny? Was that a year ago or 2 years ago now?
That was 2 years ago.
Dang, man, time flies. I'm just like, man, that dude was on top a while ago, and now look at him.
Yep. Not even on the show, but I think he'll make his way on the show as a interfering party.
Let's stick with the theme here.
Oh, boy.
Judgment Day. We've got ourselves Hell in a Cell. Edge versus Finn Balor. Now, they both tease some type of special entrances here. And I've seen a lot of people get really excited about this match. Sean, give me your thoughts going into this one. Are you still like interested in this feud at all, or like?
I'm interested in the match. I think that they did a good job by having the match be what it is, because they put the situation down where like there's an opportunity for us to be kind of reinvested because of the Hell in a Cell element. So for me, it's like, you know, you allow yourself now to rejuvenate the feud, all while ending it at the same time, if that makes any sense. It's like, you know, we didn't want to see Edge versus Finn again, but you know what? We want to see Hell in a Cell, and we love seeing Hell in a Cell back at WrestleMania. So, okay, now we're invested again. Balor has to win, bro. Balor has to win. If Balor doesn't win, what was all this for, bro? That's my only question. If Balor doesn't win this match, what was all this for? He has to win.
I kind of agree with you on that. Balor's my pick as well, but you can't use the Demon. So the problem when the Demon got to the main roster is who's supposed to be scared of the Demon if he loses all the time? That top rope breaking and all that, like, that was garbage, like just straight buns. I don't know what they were thinking or what they were doing with that, but it could have been so much better than and how it was presented. I like in NXT how they did it way better. But this time, though, I think you could change the color scheme up and have him be the Demon and do some different things with this here. Edge, there's rumors of Edge coming out with former Brood member.
Yeah.
Is Christian still signed to AEW?
I was thinking the same thing. I know Gangrel has been a heavy rumor, but we might get Christian too, but I don't know his contract status right now. If anybody in the chat knows Christian's contract status, give us an update.
Yeah, because could you imagine we got a full-blown Brood entrance? That could get crazy.
I mean, I like Gangrel coming out, but that's kind of like, you know, it's cool, but if we get Edge, Christian, and Gangrel, that's epic.
Right? Let's see here. So Doug says he was hoping to see the Demon. Matt says Gangrel's showing up. Demon can't afford a loss, but I'm calling the Brood Bath during the match. What up? You know the deal. I appreciate you saying that. It's so weird calling it a Brood Bath too, man. I'm so old that it was the Blood Bath back in the day. That was what it was called.
It was
that red Kool-Aid, if you will. A Brood leader, BT show up at Mania. Could. Here's the finish. Finn gives Edge the double stomp. They go through the ring, smoke and fire come out of the hole. Oh, y'all went with the Undertaker finish with Diesel. And then the Demon crawls out of the hole alone. Maybe. Are we going to see something crazy, Sean? Should we be looking for someone to jump off the top of the cell? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think we're going to have somebody fall off the side of the cell, which is a little bit safer. I don't think off the top. But I will say this. A small, unimportant prediction is that I think the Hell in a Cell will be purple.
Ooh. I don't know. Would that might be hard to see through, though. See, I don't like the red personally.
I don't like the red either, but I think purple with the whole, Judgment Day thing.
Right. Let's see here. Quill says Edge versus Finn. Let's go. Brood, Edge, and Demon Finn. That's going to be nuts. I'm going for Finn in this one for the fact that you can't have the Demon lose twice alone. Yeah, he needs to win more. And I think this feud needs to end. I'm kind of over the Edge and Judgment Day stuff. Like, they kicked you out. I get it. It didn't make sense at the time. I still stand on that, but we move forward.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be a good match. I think Edge knows how to manipulate this match and work this match. He's a king of the ring, Hell in a Cell veteran. And I think that Finn will be athletic enough to make it work.
I think people have to be very, very mindful of how they build the Judgment Day afterwards with this. This show actually has a lot riding on that.
I agree with you.
We have ourselves a special matchup here, though. We have Becky Lynch, Lita, and Trish Stratus versus Bayley, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai.
Oh boy.
Feelings on this one? I feel weird about this.
Oh boy.
Wow. Hold on. You had to see his face when he said it. Say it one more time for him.
Oh boy.
Not a care in the world.
This match is so pointless, bro. To me, this is the same thing as the Fatal 4-Ways. Why are we not having a women's tag team title match? Why are we acting like the women's tag team titles are important, but yet they're not on WrestleMania? I mean, it's just another example of how these titles, like you said many times, are nothing but trinkets. They mean nothing. You have a situation now where Trish is coming back. The only thing that makes sense in this match, which is my prediction, and I think it's going to sound like a good idea, so you know what that means. Only thing that would make sense is that Trish turns on Becky, which leads to a Trish versus Becky feud down the line. Other than that, this match means nothing. But we'll see. So at the end of the day, who cares? Damage Control should win because that'll set them up for a tag team championship rematch. But at the end of the day, the only thing that makes sense is Trish turning on Becky.
It seems so strange, though, for them to do that. I don't know, like... I feel like Damage Control's been a dud this whole time, bro.
Damage Control has been a dud.
We've been saying it. Listen, this podcast started that weekend when they debuted.
Yes, it did. 30 weeks ago.
And guess what? We haven't cared since. Like, I'm just keeping it a buck, bro. I have to. Like, it's been bad. It's been bad. And with Becky, I feel like this was like Becky's consolation prize. So they brought in other people to, like, you know what I mean? Like, make her feel better. Like, you're with legends. Look, you're on the same level as them and you're leading them. And I'm just like, you're trying here, but I'm not going for it.
We're going to have the tag titles change hands on Raw, have a whole hum finish. Trish comes out of nowhere. Only about 4 people clap because everybody's confused why she's out there. Lita, who's a quarter, I'm not going to say half of her former self, a quarter of her former self. Becky only being in this match because they have nothing else for her. Damage Control, who's been ho-hum since they've been out here. Bayley's been nothing but diminished by being part of this team. And then you put them in a 6-woman tag where 2 of the 6 women are tag team champions, and you're trying to make us believe the tag titles mean something. But the tag champions are not defending the titles when you could have easily had Becky and Lita versus Io and Dakota, and then had Bayley versus Trish in a single. But what we're going to do is we're going to put them in a 6-man tag for no reason.
This one's a crapshoot. I'm going to say that on this day, I'm going to give the win to Damage. You know what? No. Lita and them may come back to take the L, I would hope. They're nice, though. I don't know. Who are you taking?
I'm taking Damage. Look, I'm taking Damage Control because I think it would be a good idea to see Trish turn on Becky. But we all know what happens when there's a good idea on the table in WWE.
You know what? You just convinced me what you just said. I'm going with Becky and them. Just because how they've treated Damage Control so far, why would you start treating them nice now?
Yeah.
I needed to hear Sean's logic on that. He was going to talk some sense into me on it. Let me see.
Good idea. You know what that means.
Someone said Dom's falling off the top of the cell. You wilding out, Matt Lopez. They ain't doing that to Dom. Mysterious red liquid. Let's see here. Where was I? Shaking my head. It should be Becky and Lita versus Shayna.
That would have been the best option. Yep.
Matt says they should have went with Bailey versus Trish. Doug and Matt agree with you fully. Gomar's laughing. Damage Control needs to turn on Bailey and new tag team name Control Alt Delete. Damn. Wow, that's harsh. That's harsh. Damage Control sucks. Break it up. I mean, listen, guys, we don't see Johnny Gargano on this show either. I'm just throwing it out there. Like all these people who got brought back, they ain't on WrestleMania. I'm rocking with Becky, Lita, Trish at the same time. Damage Control will lose momentum again, and watch out for the rumored Trish heel turn. Even though Trish is supposed to have her last match at that show I went to in Canada.
That sounds like a good idea, Quills. Sounds like a good idea.
McKinney said, yo, I'm not going to lie. Y'all know I'm an advocate for women, but every match with the women seems so lackluster. These are Raw or SmackDown matches at best due to no real build. I don't care. Damage Control losing starts to break up. Yep. Sean, I love your logic, bro. You should be doing booking WWE matches. We would have no problems.
I'm honored by that, man. Your mouth to God's ears. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Johnny Gargano on the next pay-per-view. It ain't WrestleMania. So, listen, he needs Tommaso Ciampa back bad. Because I don't want to see any more comedy with him. Because guess what? It's not funny. And he just went right back to NXT just to go and be Shawn Michaels' lapdog. We got to do better with Johnny Gargano. This ain't Johnny Gargano that I loved, all right? I can tell you that. And I'm a Shawn Michaels fan saying that.
And let's change Johnny Gargano's amazing music to this crap that he comes out to now. Awesome. Awesome job, WWE.
That might have been legal reasons. Well, unless they could buy it. I don't know. No, because they got Sammy's theme back. Yeah, they need to pony up the money. Let's talk about this.
Oh, jeez.
It was at this moment we knew Vince was back. Bruh. Brock Lesnar versus Omos. I don't even know what to say to this. What is this? Who booked this? Why? This dude ended the Undertaker streak. I want people to think about stuff in hindsight right now. You gave this man the Undertaker streak to be like, you know what? In 9 years, I got a match for you, kid. You're going to face some dude named Omos at WrestleMania, dude. It's going to be great. This is the dude that they're all comparing to Andre the Giant. Listen, here's my rule with this match. And this is my truthful one, Sean. If Brock Lesnar is doing this go away, I'm not signing right now. He's putting over Omos. I don't care what happens. He's putting him over. If it goes the opposite way and Lesnar's going to stick around and do some stuff, he'll get the win. Make it quick. I feel bad for this kid, though. He should not be in this position to get beat like this. He's supposed to be a giant. We haven't seen him. He lost to Braun. He shows back up, and now he's going to lose to Lesnar. How do you think this is going to make him viewed? He's 5 matches away from having Kali's old gimmick of the kiss cam. I'm sorry, but that's what they're going to do to him. You know this is what they do. It's that foolishness, especially with Vince McMahon.
Lesnar wins. I don't care.
In the chat, DIY is needed. B-Boy said up, up, down, down has better build than some of the matches. Johnny Gargano, sad face. Johnny Gargano is wrongfully diminished. The match of the year, Lesnar versus Omos. The big heavyweight fight. Sloppy Joe, Sloppy Joe. I made it extra sloppy for you. Oh my goodness. Brock is about to get paid for 2 minutes of work. Lesnar versus Omos, who cares? It was either Bray. Imagine if Bray was unable to compete after building up the program with Brock. Brock would have lost his mind on somebody backstage. Speaking of that, let's talk about that. Sean, we don't have a graphic for this because we don't know what's happening with Bray Wyatt. Sean, when we went over and did the grades, go back in the archive. I'll try to make sure I put it in here somewhere. I usually put it a little earlier, but in the little tags that pop up, you'll see it. Go in the archive and look when me and Sean gave our grades for all of Triple H's returns. Bray Wyatt was one of the highest that we gave a good grade to. Fam, what has happened? What happened? It was here, and now it's here. What has happened?
WWE sucks. Nobody can help that Bray Wyatt is sick, allegedly sick. Get well soon. And there would have been a lot of disappointment, which there is now, had things been done properly. We're just overly disappointed because things were not done properly. They've dragged this Uncle Howdy thing out so long that now nobody cares. They've not only sabotaged Brock Lesnar for WrestleMania, but now they've sabotaged Bobby Lashley as well.
And Bobby's been showing up. Bobby's the one there every week for you.
I don't know how and why WWE decision makers can look themselves in the face and believe that they deserve the money that they make. Because Omos versus Brock Lesnar is not only one of the worst matchups in WrestleMania history, it's one of the worst replacement matchups in WrestleMania history. Everybody knows about, it's funny we brought this up because I wasn't going here before. Little history lesson. As my esteemed colleague Conrad brought out, it was very, very much a possibility that Marty Jannetty was going to face Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 8. And it was also on the table for Marty Jannetty to face Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 9. The alteration for the WrestleMania 8 match was Tito Santana. The alteration for the WrestleMania 9 match was Tatanka. And both matches, with the exception of the fact that the Mania 9 match was a disqualification, both matches were good. We were supposed to have Bray freaking Wyatt against Brock Lesnar. And now, with Bobby Lashley in the mix, for some reason last month they decide that it's going to be Bobby Lashley to face Bray Wyatt, which wasn't the worst thing in the world. But we've dwindled all the way. We've dwindled all the way down to Brock Lesnar versus Omos. The same guy that was the doorman for Shane McMahon on that ridiculous Raw warehouse segment they used to have. The same guy who hasn't said more than 3 words or done more than this over the past 6 months. That guy.
You know what's crazy, though? He has charisma, I think. Did you ever see him do karaoke?
I don't care, Conrad.
No. But I'm saying that to me, that tells a story sometimes when I see you in a different character or a different light. And I'm like, why can't you be like this on TV? Maybe some people don't have it. They said Brad Armstrong's one of the funniest guys you'll ever meet. But when the camera came on, he was Brad Armstrong. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. He was just a good wrestler.
WWE should be ashamed of himself. And at the end of the day, I predict Lesnar wins, and I think that's a tragedy. You know why? Because Omos does deserve better. But you know what? Omos is being used horribly. Brock Lesnar is being used horribly. And at the end of the day, it's just another example of how WWE is arguably the most disappointing wrestling organization in the world right now.
Okay, so we brought up that. And we talked about how we felt. I think there's another person, though, that you're a big fan of that's kind of a victim of all this. LA Knight. LA Knight should be on this card. Ever since you did that promo, bro, I'm like, yo, you said he will?
He will be. He's gonna show up and have some words for somebody during the show.
Maybe a little stunner, you're
Yep,
thinking?
that's what I'm thinking.
I think so too, but I
We're,
still
we're
think
on the same, we're on the same page. Yep.
I think it should be him and Bobby though. Bobby should get a quick match with this dude still.
Okay.
And then after this, he eats that stunner. You have to find a way to elevate this dude right now. You don't have time. There's not time to build him up and all that. You put the rocket on his back and elevate him to the mid card as soon as you can.
Yep.
LA Knight. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The almighty Bobby Lashley deserves way better. Oh, Doug. Oh, Doug, don't remind me. He was dressed as a big ninja for those stupid segments. I hated that. The deal says Bray's a creative genius, but his in-ring ability doesn't match up to the hype. One garbage soda match makes sense his return. Brutal comeback. Yeah, and Rob said something too up here about Bray Wyatt. He said, I think his feelings were hurt because his creativity was called into question. And Rob said that's because he effing sucks. Listen, I've been saying it for a while. Bray Wyatt was real close to that Dolph Ziggler level of care. I hope that they can make this work. I'm trying my hardest to fight and be like, you know what? It's not his fault. And maybe it is circumstances out of his hands, but I'm finding it hard to care. Hard to care when it comes to this. They got to find a way to do this. People are saying LA Knight better be booked. Lashley Lesnar fight pit. Boom. Yeah, you could have did that. LA Knight is IC champ. LA Knight catches the stunner because of him and Miz. Yeah, Miz is gonna have to get beat up too tonight. I forgot he was the host. We can't have that for too long either.
Yeah,
Miz
I mean,
can go somewhere.
that's another thing. Miz is the whole. Come on, bro. Like I'm over this show already, man. There's like three epic matches on, 4 epic matches on this 27 match card.
You know what's the sad part? I'm gonna say Maurice better be with him too.
That's a fact.
Ooh wee. Going into the next match, the Raw Women's Title match. Talk about disappointing build.
Pathetic.
Yikes.
Pathetic.
I don't even know what the build is to this. Asuka dances, haha, stuff is funny. I'm not laughing. I think it's ridiculous and it looks stupid. The only thing I could think of is maybe you give Muda a moment afterwards with her. You know what I mean? Like she goes for the miss, she can't do it. Then Muda gives her the other miss, and then Muda's the one like leaking the stuff. I don't know. Maybe you could. I don't know what you do with this. Does Asuka have to win this, or is this Bianca's time?
I mean, Asuka's gonna win because it's her time to kind of reclaim the throne, and I think that you have a situation where it's gonna actually be 365 by the time a 365 day title reign for Bianca when it's all said and done. I with this build, I wish I drank alcohol. I wish I drank alcohol because if I drank alcohol, I would be drinking it right. Unfortunately, this is nothing but water. But I'm disgusted right now because I feel like at the end of the day, this match is being butchered because of this horrible build. It's been terrible, Conrad. Absolutely terrible.
I am 100%.
Asuka wins. I love Bianca. Asuka wins. It's time for a little bit of a change. I think Bianca should eventually down the road get her hands on Charlotte to complete the destruction of the 4 horsewomen. But that's another story for another day. Asuka wins in a match that far surpasses the storyline. But the thing is, that doesn't mean that the match is going to be awesome. All the match has to do is be average to override this storyline because this storyline and build-up has been awful.
They've also lost me on it looked like you were going to present Asuka differently since the Rumble, and you haven't.
Not at all.
In the beginning, yeah. Then all of a sudden, she fell right back into the same old pattern, and I'm like, she can do different stuff, guys. She's better than this, and it just went right there. I don't know what to say about this. I'm trying to predict a winner here because you know what? I'm going to be smart here. I'm going to say that Bianca loses, and maybe this is where her and Montez will unite.
Yeah, maybe so.
That's the only thing I can say. Asuka wins, but I want this to be better than how it sounds. And I know we sound like really sad about this. And you know what's the crazy thing? Bianca's title reign I've been so 50-50 on it. Like, depending on who you match her up with will depend on the quality of match. But storyline-wise, they have not given her enough, I think.
I agree with that assessment. I do.
Asuka should have been booked as a killer heel. Asuka wins bold prediction 2 because this match means nothing. We need a character. Bianca should stay face for the kids. I don't see that though. I don't know how much longer they can keep that up.
It's time for a change for her too, because I love Bianca, but even I'm starting to think, hey, a little bit stale.
I want Bianca to retain, but Asuka will win. It's her time, and if Bianca retains, she will have no more credible challengers on the Raw roster right now.
Or you have Bianca retain and have somebody from NXT challenge her the next night on Raw.
You could pull that. J Hub, what's good? He said, "Hey, Conrad, had to stop in and speak. I'm finally back from overseas, so I had to come in and show love as always. Give me a shell, yeah. That's the fishing line."
I love it. That was so awesome, man. I can't believe that's almost like 15, 20 years ago.
Oh, why did you say that?
We're getting old, man. We're getting old.
The chowder.
Yeah, we're getting old, man.
I'm debating. Let's get this one over with. Seth Rollins. Hold on, guys. What are you laughing at, bro?
That's the first time. I've known you for years now, bro. I've known you for years, and everybody knows you're my guy, man. But that's the first time I've ever had a little taste of hate come out of you. That sounded like hater. That sounded like some hateration.
No, bro, this is gonna be a good match. I know this. I know this going into it. I hate the character work. What is this? What is this? That's my shirt. What is this?
Crowd participation means something, Conrad. What? Woo? Yeah. Oh, this is professional wrestling, bro.
This does not main event WrestleMania. He better figure it out and get back to where he was.
Right.
Because he's too good to be doing this crap. Logan Paul, I think he's going to do well. I've seen people arguing over who needs this W more. Because Logan Paul did lose to Roman Reigns last. But Seth's kind of looked at as this, you're better than this. I don't know. I see him as you're better than this, but I think other people view him as lesser than at one point than where he was. Give me your thoughts on this, Sean.
I think Seth needs to win this match desperately, bro. Desperately. I love Seth Rollins, but I also understand that Seth Rollins needs this win. And at the end of the day, I think for all the mistakes WWE has made, the one mistake that they have not made is that Seth Rollins music and the Seth Rollins swag character, which I know you hate. But regardless, he has to win this match. I'm predicting that Seth Rollins wins this match out of sheer necessity, because if he goes to WrestleMania and loses to Logan Paul, what does that say about Seth moving forward, bro? Not much.
Yeah, but what are you paying Logan Paul all these big bucks for if he's losing too?
Oh, keep it going. Oh, keep it going, guys. Oh.
Don't give them any ideas, Matt. That's what they do with gimmicks. They start thinking like what you're saying here. Logan belongs in jail. Woo, we're not even getting into that. What is this? Joker Sting versus Joker Seth? That would make sense if that was a matchup and you built a story around it. This is going to be an amazing performance. I agree. I think that this is going to be athletics of the night. Like,
from an athletic standpoint, this match is going to be one of the top 3 matches of the weekend.
Yeah, they're going to deliver. Logan is dope. He belongs in the ring. The question is, does Logan really want to do this? Because on his podcast, I laughed when they made it sound like he was talking to someone else, and it was like, oh, when WWE becomes like your backup plan. I think it was a young lady talking, and she was kind of like, oh, if things don't work out, maybe I'll go to WWE. It's your backup plan? These people will eat you alive if you come in there talking like that. So I don't know. Man, Seth is a jobber to the stars. Come on now, E. Come on now. He has been lately, but Seth has won one pay-per-view match in the last year. Is that factual?
I don't remember him winning much. I mean, if you want to talk about since WrestleMania, he lost at WrestleMania. He lost the rematch to Cody. I don't know, man. I don't know. He wasn't even on Survivor Series. How pathetic is that?
Oh, that's rough. That's rough. You know what? The problem is Logan Paul's only coming in to do certain amount of matches. Seth needs this win more. I'm going with Rollins, and that's just out of like who I think deserves it. Here you go. Here you go. Someone kept it going for you. Oh my goodness. Give Logan the cruiserweight title. Peace. Last win was Riddle at Clash of the Castle. Yikes. He should be getting...
he technically wasn't on SummerSlam either, technically.
Oh yeah, wasn't that's where his match got bumped with Riddle.
And they had a run-in, but they didn't do anything else. Seth hasn't. So to ML's point, he's only won one time, and he's been off of major pay-per-views many times. So it's like Seth needs this win more than you could imagine, bro.
He said, "Cody is Seth's daddy, the son of the plumber, if you will." I know Cody gets mad when people do that, but I can't help but do a good Dusty.
Babies.
Speaking of them babies, Charlotte Flair, if you will, we're taking on Rhea Ripley. This one, so I'm not as mad at this one, Sean. This feels backwards, though. And there's nothing you can do to prevent the backwardsness. Charlotte Flair should be the heel. Did you watch SmackDown last?
Yes, I did. Okay. That was really bad. Yes.
I'm talking about the what promo, right?
Yes, absolutely.
She started going in. I would too. I hate the what chance. Like, if I could ban certain things, if you gave me my choice of like 5 things to ban from wrestling, the what chant might be on that list.
Really?
I hate. Yes, it was funny when Stone Cold did it. It's not funny in 2023. I'm over it. I'm like, dude, please let this person just get through this promo.
Right.
It's not cool. And I think the what chant's more out of how are you going to react to it, and you just have to kind of steamroll through it. But when you acknowledge it, you messed up. And only certain people can get away with it. The Undertaker was one, and I think Vince McMahon said people sounded like penguins one time. And Undertaker said, "Say what if you sleep with a family member?" And then what? And that's exactly what happened. He was like, "All right, now I'm gonna cut my promo."
Right.
You done it now.
You've gone and made a big mistake.
Yeah, that was the joint back in the day, right? So with Rhea Ripley, she won the Royal Rumble. We're here now, and they're building this up off of that previous WrestleMania match, which was another WrestleMania booking travesty involving like Charlotte Flair. Why did she beat Rhea then and there? This is your chance to kind of make up for that mistake. Rhea should crush her. Crush her. That's how I would book this. If it were up to me, Charlotte Flair gets owned this night, like just dog walked instantly. Riptide done.
Rhea's gonna lose.
No, don't
say it.
Don't do that.
WWE is in love with that woman.
With
Charlotte Flair can do no wrong. Rhea Ripley should win the match. Don't mistake what I'm saying as anything other than that. Rhea Ripley should win this match. Charlotte Flair is going to make a lot of people angry on Sunday or Saturday or whatever it is. I'm telling you that right now, bro. I'm telling you that Charlotte is going to win this match. And I'm telling you that we're going to talk about it next week, and we're going to be very annoyed. And so is they're going to boo her out of the building, and they have no choice to make her heel again because Rhea Ripley's going to lose.
Because Rhea should be face, but you can't make her a face because of who she's aligned with.
Exactly.
And I saw what they tried to do with this. It made sense because Charlotte Flair as a character, sometimes the way she's booked, you're never gonna like her. You're just not gonna like her.
Yeah, she's annoying no matter what.
She cashed in the Charlotte in the Bank to get the SmackDown title, which everyone was like, "What? What is this? You just can say you want a title shot and it happens." But they did that, but then they tried to put her against Dom. It didn't work. You tried to bring up the old stuff. It didn't work. And then this week, she turned herself heel while talking. Shout out to Sick and Casey in the chat too. I see you guys. But I don't know what to do. To me, so when I said that Rhea should just dog walk her, that is going to depend on where this match is placed. Because the rumor has it that this is the main event. I do not agree that this deserves the main event. I don't care.
I have a theory on this. And I think I've said this to you before. I believe that the main event should be both Royal Rumble winners. But I think Sammy and the Usos and KO have ascended themselves storyline-wise to have earned main event of night one. So that changes everything. But in theory, I think when you have a 2-night WrestleMania, which, by the way, again, I still don't agree with, you have the luxury of having both Royal Rumble winners be the main event. But again, I think the Usos, Sammy, and KO have taken that slot. But you're right. It's probably going to be the main event, and I think that's a bad decision.
Right. I'm taking Rhea Ripley. Are you sticking with Charlotte? Is that your pick?
I'm going with Charlotte. I think I don't trust WWE. Has anybody in the chat not realized I don't trust WWE? I do not trust World Wrestling Entertainment. I don't trust Vince McMahon. I don't trust Triple H because you know what? Like I've said to you 1,000 times, Conrad, and you agree, Triple H ain't doing that good.
Well, he's also putting on the facade that he's running it. That's not what's happening. You can tell by some of the decisions. Look at what's been going on. Triple H wasn't using legends before this. He never called Lita up to do anything. He could have always called Lita and Trish and them up to do something. Not one ring. He didn't use any of the legends in the Royal Rumble. Why? Because he didn't need them. He was trying to build his current roster. And that's what you do during certain times. Vince has become over-reliant on the legends. Dude, when I hear Bill Goldberg is one of the hottest news stories of the week because he's a free agent, something's wrong.
That's a big problem. Absolutely.
Something is wrong. No one should
Conrad. Well said. That's a big problem. Yep.
So we don't need the legends here for all of this. I get it. You can sprinkle 1 or 2 in, but you don't need all of them on this card. I don't want to see any of the stuff. I was just talking to Casey, was who I was talking to earlier about WrestleMania 32. I don't want to see Shawn Michaels, Mick Foley, and Stone Cold come beat up New Day. That's the last thing I want to see on this show right now because I'm not going to see who's going to be working Monday, as a famous wrestler once said. Who's working Monday? Oh, that's right, me. So don't do that. Gomar said this matchup is overdone and I'm not interested. A Flair is never a baby face for a long period of time. That is true. Tag team championship main event because the WrestleMania story is built on if the bloodline will fall or not. Only time I trust WWE is on up, up, down, down. That's only through affiliation, B-boy.
I don't
trust WWE. You might have forgot, baby doll, that one time I won you for 30 days. I believe that was 30 nights too. If you know what. Come on now, E. You got me reading Dusty.
Yeah, babies. Yeah, babies.
Baby doll, get away from that Tully Blanchard, if you will.
If you will, baby, please.
Tag team championship match. This was one that we've been looking forward to.
I'm not.
Well, come on now. You said you were into this.
It's the best match of the weekend, but I'm still angry, and everybody knows why. And stop laughing. Stop laughing at me because I'm very upset. Yes, it's going to be a tremendous match, but I'm still angry, and you know why, and the chat knows why.
I hear you. I hear you on this. I think there's a chance to tell a story here with this. Mm-hmm. The question is, what kind of story do you want to tell? Have you noticed that they've been like teasing that Sammy and KO still might turn on each other with their foolishness that they keep looking at each other like, what'd you say?
Oh, last week, Kevin Owens was saying, "Oh, the fans love you. Like you guys, you do whatever you want." The fans. It was definitely some twinge of them turning on each other again. But you know what I've also noticed? As angry as I am, Conrad, look at my face, brother. As angry as I am, there's still maybe about 10%. It was all the way up to like 90%, all the way up until the last pay-per-view. But all of a sudden, I'm starting to think there may be an outside chance that I still get what I want. Because Jay has not, in my mind, truly, even though he said it, truly shown that he's in the Roman Reigns camp. He loves his brother, but I don't know if he loves Roman Reigns. And I'm going to tell you something. There is still an outside chance we get main event Jey Uso. But of course, main event Jey Uso is a good idea. And you know what that means. So it's probably going to be a straight up tag. And KO and Sammy are going to win. And that's going to be it. And you talk about leaving something on the table, Conrad. You talk about leaving something on the by God table. Main event Jey Uso. But it's not going to happen. And KO and Sammy are going to be the new unified tag team champions.
I would like to still see. So I'm picking KO and Sammy as well, but I would like to see them hit the Ring of Honor finishers. I want to see the package pile driver. Don't do that little sit out garbage. You know how he used to tease it with Cena and all that. He would hold him up, and then he would be like, "I'm gonna let you go," and you fall out to the side. No, I want someone spiked on top of that dome, and then I need to see that turnbuckle brainbuster from Sami Zayn. I almost said his other name, but El Generico is no longer a wrestler. So that's what I want to see, and that's how they win these tag belts, and that's how you take them off of the Usos. And then the focus needs to be Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa's a tag team, KO and Sammy are a tag team. Rebuild your tag division. One set of belts. I don't think we need double tag teams splitting them up because I can't deal with 4 to 5 tag teams fighting every week with each other. I can't.
Would you like to hear my completely outlet? Because I always thought that the Jey Uso idea is perfect, which we're not going to get, right? But can I give you an alternate storyline that I think would make WrestleMania, make a WrestleMania moment that would rival even Andre and Hogan and Savage and Steamboat and Austin and Rock and Triple H turning on X-Pac and DX? I have something for you that'll blow your mind. Are you ready?
Let's hear it.
So Sammy and KO are fighting the Usos for the Unified Tag Team Championship. And we all want to know, does Jey really have Roman's back? Is he really all the way back in the fold? Is he going to do what Shawn wants him to do, what Hubbard wants him to do, which is turn on the bloodline? Probably not, right? But then we look at the other side. Maybe Sammy and KO, like you just said, are not all the way on the same page. But here's the kicker. Have you ever seen a storyline where somebody beats the crap out of someone for months and months and months, and then one day a light bulb goes off and says, you know what? If I can't beat him, why not join him? Well, here comes the wild, only probably 1% out of 100 possibility that would set WrestleMania on fire. What if Kevin Owens decides that he's tired of fighting against the bloodline? What if Kevin Owens still has a vendetta against Sami Zayn for all the things Sami Zayn did to him? Sami Zayn cost him the match at Survivor Series. Sami Zayn cost him his title shot. Sami Zayn let the bloodline beat the crap out of him for 20 minutes before finally stopping it. What if KO aligns himself, maybe not necessarily as a member, but as an affiliate of the bloodline? Just don't say anything. Just let it sink in. Give yourself 10 seconds. I'll wait. Give yourself 10 seconds to think about what that would mean to the landscape of World Wrestling Entertainment.
Once again, though, I've thought about this. If you do that, this all depends on how you lay out the match card. This is why this is important, the order of the matches. Because you can't do that on the last night and then go into night 2 creating all this uncertainty leading into it.
I never said it was logical. I just said, for me, and shout out to Quills and saying I'm a good story writer, to me, this is what makes wrestling amazing, and this is why WWE is dropping the ball. The Jey Uso thing was ready-made for them, and they turned that away, right? This would not be ready-made. This would be completely something that they would have to conjure up. But wouldn't it be awesome? That's all I'm saying. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Listen, we made our predictions on this already. We're going with Sami KO. I think I'm going with generic WWE vanilla ice cream is what they're going to do.
Yes, unfortunately.
And you just gave them cookie dough. I'm about to give them some cookies and cream.
Mm-hmm.
What if, Sean? See, this is us just playing Booker. If we were in the room.
Let's go.
What if you had instead Sami Zayn turn again? Roman said that night that this was your test. The test was we're going to have to play the long game with Kevin. We're going to have to go through it. I'm going to take my beating. I'm going to take my licks for what I've put the bloodline through already to get my spot back into this group.
Mm-hmm.
And what if Sammy turned on him? Could you do something like that? I think you could. And then that stacks the deck against Cody even more the next night. What I'm saying. So if night one they main event, then you're like, Sammy's back with them. What's Cody gonna do?
Right.
Cody doesn't have enough friends. And he said, I tried to get you guys to listen. You didn't listen. And then I realized that this was the only family that I ever needed. Oh, yes, Sammy. Yes. The wise man knows. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And they'll all be in there doing that foolishness. And then that's where you could probably even have, Brandy Rhodes is coming out for that main event. She's tackling Paul Heyman or doing something. You've got something there if you wanted to do that. But this is the what if scenario. Yours is head turning like, yeah, no one called that, I bet. And for yours, if they do it, they have to do it like when Triple H in China turned on
DX. That's why I brought that up.
Yeah, they have to do it that way, bro.
But here's the problem, Conrad. And here's the problem, chat. Conrad just came up with a swerve, probably a little bit more of an easygoing swerve. I just came up with an outlandish swerve. But they're not going to do any of that, man. That's the problem. They're not going to do any of that. They're going to have Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens win the tag team championship. Why don't you guys feel me on this? I've been begging somebody to listen to me for months. Why do we have to do status quo? Why does it have to be where the bloodline abuse Sami Zayn to the point where Sami Zayn leaves the bloodline because he has a guilty conscience? And then he aligns himself with KO. And then him and KO reunite. And then they challenge the Usos and win the tag team championship. Why? Why does it have to be so regular, so average, so predictable? Why?
It doesn't have to be. It's all in how you write it.
Because it's WWE, damn it. Because it's freaking WWE. And WWE had Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso, in the palm of their hand. They didn't even have to do anything. It was right there. And they said, We hear the crowd reaction, Conrad Cushman. We hear the crowd reaction, chat. We see that you want Jey Uso to turn on Roman Reigns. We see that you want main event Jey Uso. But what are we going to do? We're going to take it away. We're going to even go against something that's ready-made and easy because we want to do what we want to do.
I think also, though, Sean, let's just say that the process is completely fair.
It's so annoying, bro.
I know, but let's pretend the process is fair, what they go through. How many writers do they have in those rooms? Way too many, right?
Right.
It's easier to go with what makes logical sense versus when it was Russo and Ferrara in the room writing it, they could pitch it and make it make sense to Vince. When there's 15 voices that are all trying to get heard, we should push Miz. We should push Cena.
No. This is where you're wrong, Conrad. This is where you're wrong. I respectfully cut you off, my brother. This is not one of those moments. Everything you're talking about makes sense if that was where it was. That's not what this is, bro. That's not what this is. The KO thing is me going outside the box. Jey Uso, Conrad? Jey Uso was made by the fans. Jey Uso was being encouraged by the fans for 2 months to turn on Roman Reigns. Jey Uso let me break this down for you, Conrad. And this is not because you're a stupid guy. This is because you're a smart guy. And I'm going to give it to you because I know you're going to get it. Jey Uso literally just stood in the corner at Royal Rumble. Didn't do a thing. Looked at Sammy. Looked at Roman, and the crowd, 80,000 people, started chanting Jay's name. They didn't have to do anything. Jay walked away from Roman Reigns and his brother and Solo and Paul Heyman, and the crowd in unison said, ooh. There was nothing that needed to, it was done. The WWE, the difference in what I'm saying, Conrad, and then I'm going to let you talk. WWE, and chat, listen to me on this. WWE, Conrad, had to literally stop the momentum of Jey Uso. It wasn't like they were trying to create something. It was already created. The WWE fans made their decision. We want main event Jey Uso. And WWE said, no. That's the difference.
Period. You're done?
I'm done.
My point, what I was arguing throughout this was it's the process that I think is harder to get through. When you have 15 writers lobbying for different things, this is no different than lobbying with anything else. I don't want to get all governmental about it,
Right.
but I'm just putting this at basic terms. When you're lobbying for something and there are so many voices trying to be heard to get over that thing that you want or that performer that you know that you've got in your pockets, you're like, yo, they can deliver this if you let me write this for them. They're all trying to get away in so that they can be the head writer, the assistant writer, whatever it is. You're not going to be able to get to that stuff because they're going to go with what is simple. They're going to go with the vanilla ice cream because you know how that tastes every time. Are you bringing me chocolate mint flavor? You know what I mean? Are you going to give me a flavor that I don't like? What is this? And they don't want to take the risk. I know what you're saying. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying they don't have to be so rigid, but that's what this product has become. It's become a corporate product. It is very plain.
So let me ask
everyone's
you
happy.
Because your point is solid. My point is WWE stopped Jey in his tracks, and you're saying they stopped Jey in his tracks because they like to go vanilla. Okay. Mm-hmm. My counterpoint would be this: what was not vanilla about Jey? And let me make that question a little bit more clear. What's more vanilla, right, to use your analogy, than fans automatically cheering for someone they have no business cheering for? WrestleMania 13, Bret, Austin. Now, what would have happened the following night if Austin did some heel crap and Bret, well, Austin's an anti-hero, but let's just roll with this. You know what I'm trying to say. What would happen if Austin did some heel crap and Bret did some face crap the next night on Raw and for the oncoming weeks? It would have made no sense. The fans made a decision. So my question to you is, once again, what's not vanilla about Jey organically becoming a face right in front of our eyes, and WWE saying, no, we see what the fans want, but we're going to stop it in its tracks?
Here's how I'm gonna let's put a bow on this, and this is the one thing I'm gonna tell you.
No, let's not put a bow on it, Conrad. I need to understand.
I'm about to give it to you straight.
Okay.
You said the year. What year was that with
97.
Austin and Bret?
97.
Guess what was happening in the beginning of that year?
I don't know.
On the other show.
Okay.
They were getting kicked, right?
Right.
They were down still, even though they thought they were up. Guess what you have to do when you're down? You got to listen to your audience.
Mm-hmm.
What has WWE had the privilege of since 2002?
Having no competition.
None that could make them change their course. And guess where they're at still? They make money hand over fist. Do they care what Conrad thinks? They don't give a damn what I think. Do they care what Sean thinks? Nope. Right. Do they care what the people in the chat thinks? No, because sometimes they'll throw us a bone. Every once in a while, they're like, I give them a bone. You know, they're loyal. They've complained long enough. Give them something. And that's when Vince is in the mood to give us one of those. Right. I don't know how Hunter's going to be in the long term, but with Vince, yeah, sure, give him a bone. But he's still going to do whatever he wants to do. That's the difference between those time periods that you're saying. Jey Uso has no leverage in this situation.
Okay. I respect what you're saying. I hear you, bro. I hear you.
It's just the people who are going to argue for Roman, they're going to be like, oh, well, this is all because of Roman, of course. Mm-hmm. This is all because of Cody, of course. You know what I mean? They're going to have their people trying to say it's because of them. I'm going into this looking forward to this tag match. I know what I'm expecting. We're going to get vanilla ice cream.
We're going to get vanilla ice cream, right?
And I'm just willing to, I guess I'm just accepting the defeat now. I see people talking about Hell's Kitchen in the chat. Y'all talking about some food. You must be getting hungry. These are those slow burn-offs that pay off in the long run. Main event, Jey is established, but we don't need him right now due to where the storyline is already taking us. After Roman goes away, Jey is up.
I hope you're right.
I wanted to move on because I think we can incorporate some of this talk.
Yeah, let's do it. You know how I feel about this Jey Uso stuff, man. I get fired up about. I've been upset about this for 4 months.
No, and you know the deal's agreeing with you. Yeah, he said that playing it safe is their motto. WWE could be swinging for the fences and they're striking out when they have something there. because this is what doesn't make sense. You need to create new stars. That's all I keep hearing. WWE needs to. You have it right in front of you. Do it
on a silver platter. But let me go on record as saying that you're 100% right, Conrad. And I don't want the chat to think that I'm coming up against you. You're absolutely right. What you're basically telling me is like, Sean, sorry, bro. This is what WWE does, and you're just doing it in a calm way while I'm like ready to freaking punch somebody in the face.
Remind me of where I was a few years ago when I first started the podcast. Like, where I'm like, you could do this. Why aren't you doing? And I'm just like, they don't care.
They don't care. You're right.
They don't care.
You're right, bro.
I told you a long time ago. I felt like WWE dumped me. That's how it felt. They dumped me, and they didn't want me anymore. And now I'm in the same place as them, and I gotta watch what they're doing. I'm just like.
And one more mini point about Jey Uso. Not only are they denying us, and you're 100% right, clearly they don't care. Not only are they denying us, they're denying him, because if Jey Uso can't be ascended to a main event caliber guy, he's going to be stuck where he's at, right?
They're denying themselves into these problems that they have, and they've created their own problems.
All right. You're 100% right, man. I appreciate that. WrestleMania is going to come and go, and we're going to see the Usos stay together, and it's going to be status quo, I guess.
Main event time.
Yes, sir.
The one that everybody's here for. It's going to be Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. The stars aligned. Rock didn't want the match. Stone Cold didn't want the match. And here we are. Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes. Do they finally pull the trigger and have someone defeat Roman Reigns? Do they finally make it okay? Do AEW guys go, I can trust the WWE. They're not going to mess me up. Even though we know later on they're going to find some way to get someone to mess them up. But for now, they'll believe it and say, you know what? They're going to treat me right over there. And like I said, the first couple people will. And then after that, let's see what they do with you. Is it time for Cody to win? And does Cody need to do it clean, Sean? Because if you have some shenanigans in this, which I think you probably could WrestleMania with Brandy, like I said, Brandy and Paul Heyman, I think should have some type of interaction. But if you can get away with some of these shenanigans, you could have maybe main event Jey Uso out there. And
right. There's I think the door is open still 5% for Jey to turn on him. I think it's going to be clean. I've always said that there's a very sexy number in place, which is 1,000, which is the reason why I think Roman might win the match. My prediction for the record is going to be Cody, but I just for anybody who's thinking it's a foregone conclusion. Okay, good. So we're on the same page, right? Okay.
I don't think I'm going with Cody as well, but I don't think it's the foregone. And I haven't picked against Roman in a long time.
Right.
But I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that Roman doesn't walk out. Because to me, I've heard people say it, there's not enough struggle for Cody, I feel. He just waltzed into the Rumble, won, had a couple talking promos with Roman.
Right, and not much else.
Yeah. Nothing too they said some personal shots at each other. They talked personal. That's it, man.
Right.
McKinney said, Conrad Hub, you brothers represent the left and the right side of the brain. That's why I love it here. Yeah.
Thank you, bro. That's true. Thank you.
He said phony Rhodes.
Wow, is that what it is? That's rough, bro. That's rough.
Nah, me and E, no, bro, because me and you said it the one day, and people will love to argue it to death. Cody Rhodes definitely played both. Cody Rhodes played himself in AEW. They came over here like, well, what am I doing? You started all this mess, and then you came over like.
He was very hypocritical. His movements were very hypocritical in real life. Let's call a spade a spade. His movements were very hypocritical.
Someone said, please, no obvious ref bumps. Might be happening. Might be happening. Cody versus Roman, Brandy versus Paul, KO versus Sammy and the Usos, Pharaoh and Liberty versus Solo. I know Solo winning one of these. Someone catching that spike. But I do. If the Usos don't turn, I can tell you the main event for Raw the next night. It is going to be the Bloodline versus Cody, Sammy, and KO. Will be your main event on Monday Night Raw.
Right.
Next night. The question is what happens afterwards, and are we going to get an actual Raw after Mania?
Well, I
want a fun one. We haven't had a fun one since 30, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth. I'm going to say no because I just don't trust WWE to have that kind of impact. Raw after Mania last year and the year before that was pathetic. It was just like a regular July third week in July Monday Night Raw was complete crap. So it was pathetic, and I think it'll be pathetic again. I'm just hoping that WrestleMania doesn't disappoint, which leads me, Conrad, to asking you, and I want the chat to really chime in on this, okay? First of all, you already said Cody. Okay, cool. So I want us to pre-grade this WrestleMania. We're obviously going to grade it next week when we do our review, but I want us and the chat on a scale of A through F, give us your grade of what the card is looking like for Saturday and Sunday. I'll let you go first.
I am going to give this a grade of a C. I think you've built the big matches to as high as you could build them for what you've had time for. And you've even had some storylines spark off of your biggest ones. Like I said, the Bloodline story is more than just the Cody match. It's also the tag title match. It's also Solo being involved, Heyman. So you've got a lot of people involved in that, and it sparks some interest. The women's matches, I think you've done a horrible job building them up. And I think the women deserve better than what they're getting with this. I'm going to just go with a C. I think it's better than last year's. Like, if you asked me what last year's was, that would have got like a D. But this year, I'm going to go with a C. It's solid, but you could be doing way better. You get real close to summer school.
No doubt. I'm gonna go D plus. I'm gonna go D plus. I think it's that bad. I think that you're looking at two mega matches in the Usos versus Sami and KO. Obviously, Roman and Cody. I think we're looking at like a B plus to a B match with Edge and Finn Balor. I think we're looking at a B match, which is a good grade for the triple threat Intercontinental. And then I think we're looking at subpar the rest of the way. And I think that when you look at that, and I'm not just talking about subpar. I mean the fatal four ways are terrible, right? And then you have like Omos and Brock. That's terrible. I just don't. I think this match is going. This pay-per-view is going to have to.
You know what? I'm putting a minus on mine.
Okay.
Because the more you talk, the more you're starting to make sense.
Right. I think we have to severely have a situation where we look back on this thing next Monday. Make sure you check us out next Monday, 6:05, same place, same channel, where we say this card majorly overrode what we thought it was going to be. Because if it plays out the way it's looking, it's a D plus for me. D plus for me. Very disappointed. And you're 100% right. The build up to the women's matches, which on paper actually are B plus matches, have been brought down to C's because of how horrible the build up has been.
Oh man, I was gonna say D's for some of those, but then when you start bringing up Omos, those tag matches, the filler, there's really not a lot to sink your teeth in.
Not a lot, man. It's not a lot.
But we've been saying that for 30 episodes. There's not a lot here to really sink your teeth into. You can get played by only seeing 6 matches. That's because they know that Roman's the draw. If he's always involved in at least 1 or 2 of the matches, can't be that bad of a pay-per-view show if you give it time.
Right.
Triple H.
Check this out, bro. Check this out. Are we really all that excited about Austin Theory versus John Cena?
No.
Not really.
Let me see here.
Gomar thinks it's a good show. Oh my goodness.
Will you review Raw after Mania? That's a no for me. Jesus ruined that last year. I was mad I stayed up to review that show. My grade for this WrestleMania card is a D minus. I ain't mad at that. I'll give it a B plus overall, Matt Lopez.
ML thinks it's a good show. All right.
I'm thinking either my early prediction or for Roman to go turn to the Bloodline for help and they walk away from him. Must be Monday. C plus for both nights. Cut the 4-way tags. Yeah. B plus. Ring of Honor and Impact Spring Break will be the must-see shows of the week. Ooh.
I'm looking forward to those.
Laugh out loud. Jesus didn't even show last year. Jesus wanted that review and he didn't even show up for it because I think he was at the show though, foolishly. But we'll see what it turns out to be. We'll be here next week. I know that you're working on some boxing things, right? Still?
Yes. Tank and Garcia is on the way. The biggest fight of 2023 is on the way, and I will be having door-to-door, wall-to-wall coverage of that fight starting actually next week. We're going to build up for at least 3 weeks for that fight. That's coming to you on April 22nd. Really excited about that. The merchandise has been going very well. I'm really excited about that. And make sure, yeah, that's what's up. And make sure you check out Conrad every single Wednesday night with our boy Derek on his channel, this channel right here that you're watching right now, for his weekly AEW review. Make sure you go to the Hubbard Wrestling Weekly channel and subscribe, and keep checking us out, man. You know what I'm saying? We're doing some big things, and I appreciate all you guys, man. You know, this has been great. And Conrad, you know, you're my guy. I appreciate you, brother. And let's just keep the ball rolling. 30 episodes, man. That's a big deal.
Yeah, man. We're in 30. We got a lot of good wrestling this weekend. Make sure you spend time with your family, appreciate each other,
Yes.
Have some good food, let loose, don't get too crazy, and enjoy yourself some pro wrestling, man. WrestleMania is supposed to be fun, so that's the main takeaway from all this. Have some fun. Me and Derek are going to try and do a preview and predictions for ROH Super Card of Honor. So if you stick around for the Dynamite stream, we'll probably have that towards the end for those interested. But for myself, for the 30 episodes and my tag team partner, Sean Hubbard, we are out. We will catch you guys all on the next episode of Clash of the Podcast every Monday, 6:05.
Let's go.